Okay, great. Let's go through the agenda for today. So I'll be showing a few slides about me. Then I'll move on to give a short campus tour. Then I'll tell you two stories. The first story is embracing my career. I just labeled it embracing your career and how Anderson plays into that. And I would also tell a story about my greatest discovery. So I do hope that it will be an enjoyable one for everyone who is participating. One thing though that I did notice from the questions you've asked so far for people who registered is that even though I wanted to talk more about family and all and how you combine it with MBA, I do know that majority of the people that are online here with me are not particularly concerned with that, either because they don't yet have a family or they don't yet have kids. So I sort of made my presentation general so that it will be very informative for everyone who has joined today. Okay, so just a minute. Okay, a little bit about myself again. My name is Chigozie Muoto, originally from Nigeria. I have a beautiful family. It's been my backbone for most of, for everything I do. My wife and I got met back in Nigeria, and we got married shortly after our undergrad. We're happily married, blessed with 2 kids, 2 wonderful children. I love them with everything in me. So that's a little bit about my family. About my background, I grew up in Lagos. I was born and bred in Lagos, grew up in Lagos until my undergrad. For my undergrad, I went to University of Lagos, a beautiful city of Lagos. University is located right on the coast of Lagos, beautiful campus. I studied material science and engineering in my undergrad. And then right now, second year, Anderson, currently doing my internship with Intel with a new business initiative group. I'm a business development and strategy intern. So to the next one. Remember, you can always ask me anything from the chat box. So living in LA is beautiful. I love the city. Other than the fact that perhaps for the most part, it may be too busy for me due to the fact that I have lived more in a countryside, so to speak. But it's a beautiful city. I love it so much. We live about 15 minutes from the beach. It's wonderful. My wife and I, we love to go to the beach. In fact, one of the things that we hated most when we lived in Hillsboro, Oregon, was the fact that it took us almost 1.5 hours to drive to the beach. But here in LA, it's wonderful. We go there as often as we can. The campus is great. You will love it. If you have the opportunity to visit, do so. You will love it. Again, there is something for everyone to do in LA. Sunshine State, city, very expansive city. There's never a dull moment. Like I always say, there's never a dull moment when you're in LA. So you would love the city. I mean, one of the things that I've enjoyed so much is actually like I mentioned, going to the beach, having outdoor activities. I'm a great outdoor person. I love to be out there. I mean, you can tell from my accent, like I said, I'm from Nigeria. The weather is always good. So we love I love to go outdoors. So, I mean, LA presents that, makes it possible for me to do just that. So that's one of the things I love about LA. Okay, so going back into what the things that I love to do in LA. Like I said, the first thing is going out there in the beach, going there as often as we can, taking the kids out there. They love it. This picture I took one way at the beach. I told my kids and my wife that I was going to the restroom, but I ended up going up there and then snapping them. They are right around here. If you can see my cursor, they are right around around here. So it's beautiful. The other thing is tennis. I love to play tennis, and I'm trying to sort of initiate my kids into doing that. My son does very well. He loves to go out there. My daughter loves to go out there as well. In fact, I see a champion in her, but she's just 2 years, so there's little we can tell about that for now. but it's lovely. Another thing is the UCLA village where we live. It's a wonderful place for people that have kids. My kids and I, we go out there to swim in the pool almost anytime we have the opportunity to. It's lovely. Weather is always good. And again, my kids are like they're outdoor people. They love to go out there. So they're always so excited each time we get the opportunity to go out there in the pool. And the other thing that I did this last within the first quarter, I think this was in March, between January and March, my son, we got him signed up into this team where he played T-ball. Most of you might not really know what T-ball is. It's just a version of baseball. It goes by the rule of baseball. The only difference is that you don't pitch. You put the ball on a stick, and then the kids hit it from there. So it's wonderful. He loves it. He loves his teammates. He loves to go out there and hit the ball and run and play. There was even a championship for them. So it's very good. Again, like I said, we don't have to worry about what the weather says. I mean, this was in winter, and then he was going out there playing T-ball. So that attests to the fact that in LA, there's never a dull moment. You can find something to do at any point in time. Why did I choose UCLA Anderson? To go into this, I would like to talk about first why MBA. For me, MBA has always been something that I looked through as soon as I finished my undergrad. But it took me a while to be able to get back to it actually. So when I eventually figured that I needed to do it, I started looking. I was already in the West Coast in Oregon, in Hillsboro. I started looking for schools in the West Coast as well, because I didn't want to go back to the Northeast. I'll get back to that. Why I said that. And I wanted a place that had the kind of mild weather. So I started looking at some schools in the north in the Pacific coast, and I started talking to students, visiting schools, because it was important for me that I chose the school that I believe met that is in tune with what I wanted to get out of the school. So UCLA came on top. I got that information from speaking with a lot of students from the different schools that I was considering. And one of the things that stood out to me was the collaborative effort that I sensed within the students I spoke to at UCLA Anderson. I give one example. One of the people I spoke to, Max Morrow, he was 2015, class of 2015. And even though he was on vacation all the way in New York, he still made that time to speak with me. And you can sense that thing from most of the students that it was a collaborative environment. There was this thing about them being very open and being willing to help other people. That kind of stuck with me. And at that point in time, I made Anderson my number one choice, and I started making every effort to get into the school. It's been great. It's been wonderful. There are many other things that I got to find out, even after getting to the school, that I didn't have the chance to find out before I got in. These are positive things, and I'm like, whoa, this is things that people might even want to get to know about, and some of those things I'll be sharing with you today. Okay, so before Anderson, what was I doing? Um, like I said, my undergrad was in Nigeria. Shortly after my undergrad, I worked for a company called Resourcery Nigeria Limited. Resourcery is a company that specializes in IT solutions. Um, so when I was an undergrad, I did a lot of certification in networking. So I became a network engineer. In fact, I worked in the Abuja office. Abuja is the capital territory of Nigeria. I worked there as regional network engineer. It was very rewarding, even though it was short-lived, but very, very rewarding experience for me. Um, Shortly after that, I came to the US. I went to graduate school in the Northeast, University of Connecticut, and that's why I say that I didn't want to go back to the Northeast because it wasn't a very good experience for me. I got to the Northeast right in the middle of winter in January 15 precisely, and it wasn't a good experience because the cold was so chilling. So I didn't want to really, leave those those kind of situations again, and that's why I wasn't looking for schools in the Northeast when I was considering business school. Um, I worked for Intel shortly after graduate school, and I worked there for 1.5 years. I worked as a process engineer. You can see the photo on your right, the extreme right is bunny suit. That's how we dressed up to go to the clean room where we make the processors. That I've shown some of the pictures here. So I was involved in making the fifth and sixth generation of Intel processors. It was again very rewarding experience. I loved it. I had always wanted to work at Intel, even when I was an undergrad in Nigeria. I had always wanted to work for Intel because I saw the chip business as something that has completely revolutionized the world, and I wanted to be part of that. Because today I look at it that without the chip, you couldn't have the computers, you couldn't have the Facebook and the Googles of this world. And to me, that's like a huge building block, and I wanted to be part of all that innovation. And I was really fortunate that I got the chance to do so. Um, so, Anderson, what are my favorites? I'll start with my favorite course. My favorite class has been the Communication Development for Leaders. We call it for short CDL. This is a course that is designed to help people in various aspects of communication as you advance in your career. One of the things that you learn is how to establish an executive presence, for example, and how to make your meetings memorable, right? And how to, for example, take challenging questions from the audience when you give a press review, or when you are a person that is out there talking to customers, or I mean, in every situation, you need that communication skills. One of the things I like about this class is you don't get to take any physical written exam, and it's a very collaborative way to learn, because you learn from your peers, you learn from the professor. The professor that handles this class is Rob McKen, and but depending on which section you belong to, you can have a different professor, teach you from, or lecture the class from week to week. And the professor that I had was, phenomenal. He's Dr. John Omen. He's wonderful. I really enjoyed having a class with him. In fact, this is me in the final presentation of the class. So you get to take your final exam, and your final exam is just to come up with a story that you want to convince the class about, the class which is your audience now. So I will bore you for about a minute and just give you a video clip of this story. Don't get too bored. Okay, so I understand from what I see that most of you did not get any sound from that presentation. Am I correct? Can everyone hear me correctly? Okay, so the problem was just from that video, right? Okay, okay. I'm really sorry for that. I mean, there's really not much I can do here. I wanted you to hear a bit about what happens in the class or what we did for our final presentation. This was, by the way, this was my exam, so you can imagine how intense it was. It was, trying to convince the class on what I was doing. But again, I apologize. I don't know why the audio didn't come out right. I apologize for that. But I don't think you've lost a lot of things by not hearing the audio actually. Okay, let's move on. So the next thing I want to talk about is my involvement or the various ways that you can get involved in the school. And one of the things I'm heavily involved in is in Anderson Admission Corps. This is a group of students that see to see to it that incoming and prospective students get the information that they need. And this group are also trying to project the image of Anderson out there to people, to prospective students. So right now, I'm the vice president of international outreach. And what I do is just to try as much as I can to coordinate events at various geographies where we have our prospective students. For example, in September, just in about a week, we were able, with the help of others who are traveling to South Africa, we are able to coordinate and organize or schedule an event that will that will be hosted in South Africa for prospective students over there in Cape Town and Johannesburg. So these are the things that I do within this group, and it's very rewarding being part of it. Another area that I'm involved in is the Entrepreneurship Association. We call it EA. It's a group that sees about various events that has to do with entrepreneurship. One of the strengths of UCLA Anderson is actually in entrepreneurship, and this club is arguably, I believe, the largest, if not, maybe second to the largest behind HTBA. But it's a club that most people like to get involved in, most people like to be part of, and it's an amazing way to get yourself to thinking how you can establish your own company. That's what you want to do. And my best moment was actually at orientation. Orientation was very phenomenal, was very powerful. This is us, my learning team. I'll tell you a bit about the learning team, but this is me and my learning team, and we're doing like some fun event. And orientation was absolutely phenomenal. I'll tell you more about orientation actually as we go ahead. But during orientation, you will be grouped along with some people who would remain your learning team throughout the classes that you take. That's the core classes. I think for me, one of the things I've enjoyed so much at Anderson is forming that bond with my learning team. And it's been wonderful, and getting to know them during orientation and during all the activities that we participated together with during orientation was wonderful. I look back to those moments now, and I just really relish them. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Okay, so where am I now? Right now, like I said earlier, I'm observing my internship at Intel with a new business initiative. What we do is just to try to vet out new businesses that Intel might be interested in, and try to see how they can increase and make money, increase their revenue and make money from those businesses. It's been a rewarding experience for me. I'm really so happy to be back to Intel on the business side. Like I said, I like the company so much. I see a lot of prospects for the company. On the right hand side is me and some members of the group. We were volunteering just last week at not a homeless shelter per se, but a home that houses physically challenged people. It was very, very good to be part of that. So this is what I'm actually doing right now. So, but of course, I'm still a second year student, looking forward to going back to school and reconnecting with my friends. What I show here is my group, my AMR group, which is different from my learning team, which I talked about earlier. So this is, I'll talk about the EMR proper later in the presentation, but I'm looking forward. We just got a project to travel to Nigeria to help Federal Ministry of Industry and Trade in increasing non-oil export in the country. So I'm really, really excited about it. I'm going to talk about this some more later on in the presentation. Okay, so we do this to two truths and a lie, just to break the ice here and get people engaged in the presentation. So what I'm going to give two things. I know most of you may have already known about this game. Just going to give you two truths and I'll give you a lie, not in any order or any form, but you get to decide which one is true and which ones are true and which one is a lie. So the first one, my kids can speak Igbo. Igbo is the native language of myself and my wife. Both of us, we speak Igbo. That's our native language. The second one is I got a PhD in engineering in less than 2 years. And the third one, my wife got a PhD as well. So you get to decide which one is true and which ones are true and which one is a lie. So let me just check here to make sure we're still good. Okay, we're still good. The light just turned off. Let me try to get it back on if I can. Great. So what happens is we go through some of the questions you asked during the time you registered, and we try to pick out top 3 questions that you want to get answers to, and these are the ones that are top on the list. So the first one is, how do you make the decision on post-MBA career, and how does the Anderson experience help shape that decision? The second one is, how would you rate your experience so far? Compared to your expectations, does your experience fall short or exceed? What have been your biggest challenges? What would you do differently? And last one is, how does Anderson and the community it creates emphasize its 3-pronged defining principles: share success, think fearlessly, and drive change? I'll get back to these questions towards the end of the presentation, because most of the things that I have on the presentation actually touch upon some of these things. And perhaps by the time we finish, you would have had the answers to most of these. So I'll come back to them at that point. Transition to the next. Okay, a quick campus tour. So let's just get to it. UCLA Anderson is a wonderful campus. That's, to me, apart from the University Village where we stay, where we live, the UCLA Anderson campus is the next best place for me. It's actually one of the best campuses I ever visited. Yes, I have visited a few, quite a few actually, but UCLA stands out. Is the most popular college in the US, is the birthplace of the internet. If you didn't know that, the UCLA was where the internet actually started from. You might want to read more about that. It has 112 NCAA titles. It's a big issue at UCLA. You get to watch big matches. It's something that people look forward to throughout the school year. And it has over 290 research centers. It's a massive school doing great things. You would love to be in the campus. And this is a picture showing the campus. Unlike many campuses where you have, businesses or something crossing, being on different section of the city, the UCLA Anderson is actually in one confined location. Beautiful campus. Sorry, that's the greater campus, the UCLA campus. So this is the UCLA Anderson campus. We'll call it the Anderson Quad. It has 4 buildings, basically A, B, C, D, and E actually. So there is a 5th one that you don't see, is a bit detached from here, but there is a 5th one. But here is the 4 buildings which are all connected. It's very interesting that you can go from one to the other without really coming outside of this place. If you have the chance to go do visit, it's a wonderful place. It's built in such a way that facilitates collaborative effort. It's really gorgeous, and it's located right within the campus. It's not like in a secluded place. It's just in a place that you still feel connected to the whole campus community, to the whole UCLA campus community. It's a wonderful place. Do visit when you get a chance. This is another image showing yet another section of it to see it in a better way. It's great. What you see on the lower right there is where people come to, right? This, I would suppose that this picture wasn't taken when the students were in session, because this place is always very busy. You find people collaborating, talking, and trying to make sense of their maybe coursework, project, or whatever thing that they are involved in. This is the intern. This is a restaurant, or we can call it a cafe, right inside one of the UCLA buildings, one of the UCLA Anderson building. It's a place that we all go have a coffee chat, meet with people. Almost all my meetings with maybe some students that you want to meet with, or you want to have a take 15 with. Take 15 is just like meeting someone for about 15 minutes and getting to know them better, right? Getting to know them. So most of those meetings happen here for me. I choose this as a location for me. It's a wonderful place. You eat, you chat, you create that atmosphere that facilitates collaborative learning in the UCLA Anderson community. And this is Corn Hall. This is where you would have your orientation. This place houses everyone. The capacity is big enough to take every UCLA Anderson class. I see in the chat box that somebody had actually asked for the class size. I did see that. I was actually going to get back to you when I get here. Sorry. I didn't mean to get to the next one. Oh, it's not going to. Okay, great. So the class size usually you have about 350 to 380. The class before me, 2016, class of 2015, had 360 students. My class had 372 or thereabout students. So that's typically the class size. And the Con Hall, as you're looking at it, takes about 400. So you might say, oh yeah, there's still capacity for more, but that's what we have. I just saw somebody ask a question here. It says, would you describe the curriculum as more conceptual or practical? Very good question. Thank you very much. So I think it's a combination of both. Like the one the class that I talked to you about, the CDL class, is actual. It's just conceptual, right? It doesn't have anything to do with statistics or quant or anything like that. But you do have your fair share of that as well, right? You do have to take statistics classes. You know, one major statistics core class. So the curriculum at the end of the day depends on what you want to focus on. For me, I'm focusing on entrepreneurship and marketing, so I get to take more of entrepreneurship classes and marketing classes. But the core class is about the kind of core that you see in any top business school. You take finances, you take finance class, you take marketing, you take accounting and things like that, economics, just basic core class that you see most of top business schools. So I wouldn't say it's one way or the other. I know some schools are like quant heavy, some schools are not, but UCLA Anderson is just, depends on how what you want to specialize on. Okay, now let's get the next one. Just a minute here. No, I'm having that lag. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Sorry. So this is the classroom. Classes are large enough to take up to 76 people, I believe, most of them, 70 to 8, let's say 70 to 76. There are very beautiful classes in such a way that you're able to hear people. And one of the things I like about these classes is they are fully automated. So any class that goes on in the class, you are able to watch later on. So let's say something happens and you're not able to attend the class, you can actually watch the class because all the classes are automatically recorded. So that's one thing that you get to enjoy. So this is the picture to my right, or to the right of your screen, is a typical side of the hallway. It's very airy. People like to gather there to talk, and like, again, this picture was taken when the school wasn't in session, but it's a place that you like to be in. I've really enjoyed being there. If you have the chance, I would say that you go visit the campus. You will love it. So the part of campus I call home. This was a very challenging one for me because I really love every part of the UCLA Anderson community. But the one that I would really call home is the student lounge. I'll say that because when I want to relax or when I want to do something that I enjoy doing, I go there. Like you see the picture on your left is me giving my 30-second pitch. Is a career deliverable that you would, that first years get to do. You prepare your 30-second speech and you're able to give it to anybody that you come across. I'll talk more about that later. So that's me, and I had that in the student lounge. And the student lounge, you can also play tennis. That's me. I mean, that's the picture of my wife. I actually took her there. We relaxed, play tennis together. There is free coffee there. Maybe that's why I like it so much, because I get to have free coffee and free and some of the free things they have there. But yeah, it's a place you can watch. You can watch whatever sport you're interested in. I remember when watching different football games or soccer games right here with other students. But in your first year, you may not get to do, first quarter, you may not get to do a lot of that because you are really pounded with a lot of classes, but it gets better. Okay, so we'll take a pause here and we will entertain questions. If you have any questions, do feel free to chat me up. You can just put it on the chat box and I will respond to them. Let me just go through this and make sure that I'm not leaving anything out. Um, okay, the one of average class size. I think I've answered that. Okay. Okay, great. Let's move ahead. Okay, I see a question coming in here. How do you balance the challenge of having a family and schoolwork? Great question, great question. You know what? That's actually what I'm going to get into just in a minute. I'll get back to that because most of this presentation I tailored to kind of add that a little bit. So I'll get to that. Let's get to the next. Okay, we've had the campus tour. Let's go to embracing your career, and I'll talk more about how I'm able to do that and also take care of my family and kids. So what do I mean by embracing your career? Most people that get into MBA want to change their career, or second or two, advance their career. So career is actually a big deal for most people in an MBA school, in a typical MBA program. One thing that I have come to realize is that Anderson creates the opportunity for you to channel your effort to where you believe you want to go, and they help you in that process. They guide you through that process, and that is what I have really enjoyed at Anderson, and that's what I will be talking to you briefly about here. So Parker CMC networking. So Parker CMC stands for Parker Career Management Center. This is one area that I believe has not been actually advertised a lot about UCLA Anderson. I find Parker CMC as one of the major building backbone for UCLA Anderson. Parker was ranked, second best in across the MBA programs in the country, and that's a big deal. That's really a big deal because, like I said, career is topmost on people's mind coming to MBA, and Parker is the right place for you. And the beautiful thing about Parker CMC is that they start preparing you even before you step foot on campus, even before your first class, right? I remember I got my offer that I have been accepted into school about March, and as early as April, I had started getting information from Parker as to how I can start, building, thinking about my career, thinking about what I want to do and accomplish with my MBA, and I was actually attached to someone that, a career advisor, an expert that will lead you through the whole process. So he actually started linking me up with some people within my organization, within Intel, that had gone to UCLA Anderson, like some alumni. So this is one area that Parker is really, really solid in. And I will touch upon how I have also gained from the experience that I have had from them. So there are a lot of companies that come on campus, and they come to recruit, whether for internship or for full-time positions. And Parker does that whole thing about coordinating the company, coordinating the students, getting the students ready to be able to put in their best foot forward and getting that internship that they need. And the thing about the people that work in Parker, because it's all about the people, right? It's all about the people within that office. And you will see that they are very passionate about what they are doing. They are very passionate about seeing the students get to the best, to the companies of their choice. People come to UCLA Anderson wanting to either switch careers, transition to something new, or or maybe start their own companies. And you see Parker leading them through that process. for me, that has been very wonderful for me. These are the list of, I wouldn't say they are the list of top companies, but they are the list of companies that take people the most in at UCLA Anderson. So here is a bunch of other ones. I just kind of put this here to let you know that there are many, many companies that come on campus to recruit, and you will, the general feeling that I have from my classmates and even from the from students in the class of 2016 is that everybody gets to find at the end of the day what they really, really wanted to do. So that's the general thing that comes across at the UCLA Anderson community. And I want to talk a little bit about where our students go to. So this is showing the industry summary for class of 2015. For the class of 2016, that has not been compiled. Before, I didn't have access to that because it's not been compiled. But I had access to the class of 2015, and this is the breakdown. So you see that technology has the highest percentage of students going into technology, and most of them are high-tech companies, like companies in Silicon Valley. So one of the things that also made me to look at the direction of UCLA Anderson was, some statistics like this, because I had gone to see where the school was sending most of their graduates, and this was very comforting for me because I like I'm in the technology field, and I wanted to remain there. For some people, it could be consulting. So we have almost 18% of that as the second largest one. So, for example, if a classmate, a learning teammate of mine got into McKinsey for internship, and he's going to also accept full-time position with them. So you find lots and lots of examples like that. So this is again breakdown by job function, because like I said, 31% go to technology, but what they do within the technology space, what do they do? So most of them, like you see, the greatest part is product management. That's what most people that go to technology, that's what they do. So they go to Cisco, they go to Google, they go to Microsoft, they go to some of those companies. In those places, the most common roles that they occupy there is product management. But there are also all sorts of things. There is internal consulting in most of those companies, most of those tech companies as well. So there is finance, there is, name it. There is a whole lot of different spaces that students from UCLA Anderson go to. So if you have more questions, you can ask me, but this is the breakdown of where students go to. And this is the wonderful group I was telling you about. This is the Parker CMC group. The guy that is signing the piece signed there is my career advisor. He's an expert in the technology space. Just to give you a quick example, during my internship, I really wanted to come to Intel to be on the business side here. So I was really focused on getting the position that I have now in my internship. And I remember, Phil is his name, Phil Hen. He was always calling me up on the phone, always asking me to come to his office. So he was proactive, even though I would say, oh yeah, I have classes, I have other involvement, but he was proactively chasing after me to make sure that I was on track with all the deliverables and all the things that I needed to do. And I remember being in his office one with Regina as well, Regina Regazi. She's also a very good friend of mine. I just go in to chat with her sometimes. And we were there, and I was telling Regina about how I really wanted to get into Intel. And he said, okay, let's call Phil here to our meeting, because Phil just told me that he has this person that I could talk to. And I was there with the two of them, and Phil started telling me about this person that he met at a career fair. that worked at Intel. And he introduced me to the person through an email, and I took it up from there. And this person and I started chatting, and that was how I was able to get my internship. So you can my internship at Intel. So you can imagine that level of networking. That's what you get to enjoy, with Parker CMC. So I will show this video, but I'm kind of, I don't know, people have complained that they didn't hear the last one. So let's try this and see if you hear it. This is just a short Parker video. Okay, that was a short video. Let's see. Okay, I didn't get any chat. I would suppose that a lot of people heard that, right? Good. Okay. Okay, so how do you combine all of this? So you have the career side, on the career services on one side, your classes, and then you, sorry, just a minute. I don't know why this is not responding. Okay, so before that slide comes, so you have to like find a balance, like back to the question that I received earlier on, find a balance between your career, your academics, and then if you have family, your family, because all of these things have to be done concurrently. So I wanted to bring up this picture. So you go to career sessions and you're, really trying to prepare your 30-second speech and tighten that talk that you have for your networking, and then you have your classes, and then you come home and you want to rest or sleep in, and then you have your kids jumping around and saying that, oh, want to be taken out, want to go out to play, and you don't have any choice but to take them out to play. But all of this is just so wonderful. It's all worked out so well. And when you're able to put all these things in perspective and be able to participate in all of them, you feel like you're having a very rich experience. And that's how I really, really, truly feel, having to carry my family along and having to do like my academics and my career, everything in one. So that's how, it could be challenging sometimes. It could mean instead of sleeping up until 9 o'clock, you have to sleep until maybe sometimes 6, sometimes 5 a.m., but at the end of the day, I enjoyed the thrill, I enjoyed the life, I enjoyed the experience, and that's what to me counts. Okay, so we'll pause again here and take some questions. Okay, let's forge ahead then. I'm having some issues, sorry. Okay, here. Okay, so let's get to the last story, which is greatest discovery. So what do I mean by greatest discovery? There is one thing that I have learned in the whole process of getting into an MBA and doing my first year and then my internship. One thing I have come to realize is you have to rediscover yourself again and again. I sort of believe that I have reinvented myself by going for business school and by going to Anderson. There are many things that I didn't know I could do, that I find myself doing. One of them is giving this presentation. You know, I was the type of person that believed, oh no, I didn't have time for all of this. I'm a hardcore engineering person. I don't have time for, you know, all of this networking and trying to talk to people and all. But it was a huge discovery for me to find out that I can actually do it if I start learning how to do it, right? I know I may not be the best presenter, but I don't think I've been terribly bad. You know, but these are some of the things that you get to push yourself to do, and that's what one of, you know, some of the things that I have come to you know, discover at UCLA Anderson. And what this helps you to do is to help you in all the decision making, because life is filled with a lot of very difficult decisions. And by discovering yourself and discovering your strengths, your weaknesses, the things that you're good at and things that you're not so passionate about, you will come to, you know, have an easier way of making decisions. For example, I just put this here. Some people in life, you know, sometimes you're presented with this, you know, you're at a crossroad. Where do you go? Do you pursue meaning or do you pursue money? There is really nothing wrong with, you know, when you put something like, people think that there's something wrong with pursuing money. There's really nothing wrong with pursuing money. Bill Gates pursued money and he became a very wealthy man, and now he's giving back by doing a lot of things in developing countries. So there's really nothing wrong with that. But by discovering yourself, you find out immediately what you should be doing at every point in time. At the time that Bill Gates was making money, he felt that that was the best thing to do at that point. And at this time, he's really crossed into the path of meaning, doing wonderful things. So discovering yourself helps you to know at what point you should do what. Again, I'll show this quick thing about at the orientation. The orientation was phenomenal. It helped me to, in the process of some of these discovery, right? And I have a clip, video clips here that I want to share with you.
Just because you win last time, you're a jerk.
Say, facility, we're in business school, wiring field day. But the reality is business school is about on the sports field. Orientation awesome.
I'm gonna make it a bit fast here.
Does a cheer. They get to rally their troops.
Okay, we're driving towards the end here. So, I mean, all of that fun thing you get to enjoy during the orientation. I mean, that's one of the things that Anderson brings to the Anderson community creates and brings to you. So one of those things that came out of that was me rediscovering my passion. So I discovered my passion that I really want to help indigent Nigerian youths to help them grow, to help them to provide leadership, education, aspiration, and to drive change in that. And the drive change part is actually to encourage them to be able to drive change within their communities. Just a minute here. Okay. So if you can still see my screen, I want you to respond if you can still see my screen. I got a small message here, but okay. So so about the AMR project, as I talked about earlier, the AMR project is a requirement. It's one of the requirements for the program. But what happens is that the school provides the companies for a group of people for your team to work in. But there's also an alternative. You can also source for your own project that you want to work on. So my team actually, I formed a team that wants to go to Nigeria to work with the Federal Ministry of Industry. So we started sending out, packages and trying to solicit for, to solicit so that they will get interested in our project. And we were fortunate enough to get response back from them, and they have signed us on to work on the project with them. So it's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to it, to working with every member of the team, and of course, going back to Nigeria and contributing to what's going on there. So the journey has been, very low, highs and lows, taking me from Lagos to Connecticut, then to Hillsborough, and now in Los Angeles, going to UCLA Anderson. It hasn't been as smooth, but it's been something that has been very rewarding, and it's something that I'm doing, carrying my whole family along. That's the most rewarding part of it for me. I always tell people that I'm having a life of dream come true. That's what it is for me. And the whole Anderson experience is for me right now at this point is like a cream on my cake. It's just wonderful. It's phenomenal. So I'm really having a ball, I would say. And you have to do this, like I said, literally carrying everyone along. So this is us at a park event that we participated in Los Angeles. Again, you don't have to worry about the weather. It's always sunny, and there we can always come out anytime we choose to participate in different events. So it's literally carrying everyone along. Okay, so we're getting to the last of this now, to the end of the presentation. I'm back to our two truths and a lie. So you get to choose. I haven't seen people like responding to what they think the lie is yet, but let's let the cat out of the bag here. So to the next slide. Some issues with this now. Okay, the drum rolls. So what's the lie? Oh, sorry. So the lie is no, my kids don't speak any Igbo. They neither speak nor understand Igbo, which they could. We have always fought through that, but they don't. I did actually get a PhD in engineering in 20 months. That was the way that happened. It's not like I'm all that smart, to tell you the truth. I had already done my master's in the same program, and I had already done a lot of work. So the PhD degree was just writing papers and then defending my proposal, and that didn't take me quite as long. So, and yes, my wife has a PhD in public health from Oregon State University. She's the smartest person I've ever come across, and I'm so happy that I have her in my life. It's amazing. We're having a great journey together. Okay, back to our questions. So I believe all of these you've been able to get some of these questions from what I presented today. I do hope. But in making the career decision, like I said, the career services helps you a lot. And even if you don't know what you want to do yet, they help you to figure out what you want to do. And the students, the second year students even get involved as well, leading in some sessions to help you figure out what you want to do. And they will hear your story and decide and put before you what they think you should be doing. About my experiences so far has been wonderful, phenomenal. I've really enjoyed everything that I have done, and I would say that it has exceeded my expectations. For example, I didn't know that I would be having meetings with second year students trying to advise me on which career and who I should meet, and trying to help me network. I mean, it's wonderful. That's part of the collaborative effort of what the collaborative community that the UCLA Anderson creates. How does Anderson emphasize the defining principles? In many, many, many ways. For example, I've talked about the collaborative effort. That's one thing that you see at UCLA Anderson. It stands out. Sharing success is wonderful. When I was looking for an internship, I was sitting right beside a colleague of mine who was also looking for an internship. And even though she knew that me being part of what she has seen was going to be more competition, but she let me into what she found out about a company that had advertised. And I mean, that's one way to share success. They are not really afraid of, oh, let me keep this pie only to myself. It's thrown out open. Everybody knows about it. Everybody like has that expectation from their classmate, and it comes across so well. Thinking fearlessly, I see that every day. We wanted to go to Nigeria for this project is one of the ways that the Anderson students think fearlessly. And there are many other students that are doing wonderful things. They are traveling to locations that you wouldn't even think that they are going to go to. So that's one way of I see students thinking fearlessly. And driving change comes from thinking fearlessly, right? And if you can do that, you will see yourself driving change just by mere fact that you are thinking the way you're thinking. For example, there is a company that just started that was started by an Anderson alum, and that's part of the way. And there are many other companies like that are starting up, from students that have been part of the community. So there are many ways that students within Anderson are driving change, and it's really been a wonderful thing being part of that community. So with that, I'll say thank you very much. You can reach out to me if you want more answers to anything that I haven't been able to answer today, or anything that I haven't answered well, or if you have any more questions, further questions, you can reach out to me. Yeah, you can also go to the Anderson website to get more information. I'll be glad to take any last minute question if there is, but if not, then we'll be calling it a day. Thank you very much. It's been nice leading this session, and I really enjoyed talking with all of you. All right, thanks a lot. Bye-bye. I'll hang up now. Okay, thank you too. Oh, I see a question here from, oh, I see. Okay, I'll just read out the question. So it says, thank you, Chigozie, for your time and great insight. First question, just for my understanding, I would like to focus on receiving a degree in marketing management. I would therefore need to enroll in the full-time MBA with a concentration in marketing. This would mean that the courses that I enroll in would be focused mainly in marketing rather than accounting or finance, for instance. Is this correct? Second question, in applying for UCLA MBA program, should I state in my essay that I would like to concentrate on receiving a degree in marketing? Any other suggestion for how, okay, let me see, regarding topics for the application process? Thanks. So to your first question, I would say that, yeah, everybody specializes in something. So in fact, that's what some people haven't even figured out. So it's a good thing that you are figuring it out even before you get on campus. So because you do have to specialize on something, the first year, everybody does the same classes. They are called core classes. So you don't have to worry about that the first year. But as soon as you get into your second year, you have to focus on whether you want to do marketing, finance, or I see that your concentration is you want marketing. So you get to do that, and it reflects on your degree that you actually focus on marketing. So I believe so. I believe I'm giving the right information that it will reflect on your degree. But I think it reflects somewhere because there is that focus, there is that thing for you to choose. And about your second question, in your application, should you state your concentration? Yeah, I mean, you can do that. It's actually a very good thing for you to do. I think for people who have, the more clarity you have into what you want to do, the better it is for you when you apply. So I would say, even if you have to pivot and do something else at the end, it's still better for you to have a sense of what you want to do. So I would say by all means, add it there. And regarding what other thing that I would like, that I will have you know about the application process. So in the application, I mean, the application is a big deal. I would say prepare as much as you can for the application. Use every avenue that you can to prepare for the application. Do your research very well. Think very well when you write the essays. They actually do read those essays. They pay particular attention to them. So think very well. Make sure that you write from the heart. Make sure that what you're writing is what you're passionate about. Because if you're not passionate about it, it's just going to show that you're not passionate about it, and it may detract from your application. So it doesn't even matter whether that's really what you end up doing at the end, but just make sure that there is something that you're really passionate about, that you really want to pursue, and the MBA degree is going to help you fill that gap to be able to go out there and do what you want to do. So that's what you want to paint. That's the kind of picture you want to paint in your application. Okay, another question here. UCLA is well known for having a collaborative community. Can you provide examples of your learning team or classmates and you cooperating together in the process? There are many examples on cooperating. In fact, I believe that because of the tagline of UCLA Anderson, everything that you do, how the course is structured, is about collaborative learning. The team formation, the team they put you in is about collaborative learning, because there is a way they measure, from what you've written, there is a way they sense, okay, this is the group, the people that you may work best with. So the collaborative effort, for example, is the core classes that you take, you get to your assigned team homework that you do with your team. And every member of the team has to participate, right? For example, in the CDL class course that I mentioned, there is a section that has to do with team presentation. In fact, for me, that was the best part of the whole project. It's a team presentation. You come out there as a team and you do it in your learning team, right? So there are many, many ways that you collaborate. And the other thing that is being that is advised is that you don't only spend the academic period together, right? So you are, in fact, you are mandated by the contract you sign. You sign a contract when you are forming the team, and the school would actually mandate you to go out on a regular basis with your team. So you go out somewhere, go do something fun, you know, go out somewhere to a restaurant to eat, go play some games together. I mean, these are the ways that the school is creating that collaborative environment. And for me, I think that's one of the highlights of going to an MBA school for an MBA program. And UCLA Anderson has actually created that environment, and it's one of the, if you ask more, for me, it's one of the best things that people get out of UCLA Anderson. But I'm not the only one. If you ask many students, they will tell you that collaboration is one of the best things they got out of it, because at the end of the day, that's what lives with you when you go out there in the field to advance your career. That's what leads you to that network, that collaboration. I believe I've been able to answer your question, but if that's not so, you can ask a follow-up question. All right. Thank you very much. I've really enjoyed this session. If there is any other thing I can answer, do let me know. If not, we'll hang up now. Thank you everyone for joining in this chat. Okay. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.